We may all remember the names of who played the main stars, but there are probably some big-name actors you didn't know appeared in your favorite superhero show or movie. We all remember our Robert Downey Jr.'s and Henry Cavill's from major superhero movies or shows. But sometimes there are big-name actors who slip through the cracks. Whether that be because they voiced animated characters or you just didn't realize who they were at the time, you may not know that there are loads of top-name actors who make appearances in your favorite superhero movie or show. In this video, we'll take a look at some of the heroes you forgot about or just plain didn't know. From actors playing major villains, leads from major TV shows cameoing in superhero shows, to major stars resorting to a post-credits scene. We'll take a look through the comic book pages of long-lost celebrities appearing in some of the biggest superhero shows or movies ever. Hold on to your capes. Jensen Ackles has been a long-standing TV favorite, playing Dean Winchester on the CW show Supernatural for 15 years. And fans were extremely excited when the news was announced that he would be suiting up to play Soldier Boy in the third season of the Amazon Prime over-the-top superhero hit The Boys. The actor has had connections with comic book characters before, and had even been linked with the role of Captain America, but Marvel of course instead opted to go with Chris Evans. But The Boys is definitely not Ackles' first foray into the comic book world though. You may be forgiven for forgetting that Ackles appeared in Season 4 of Smallville, playing the character of assistant football coach Jason Teague. He served as the love interest for Lana, and they dated during Season 4 until he was eventually, unsurprisingly and rightly, fired for dating a student. While Ackles is known for playing the good guy, his character soon took a dark turn as we learned that he was conspiring with his mother to get a hold of Kryptonian stones and even takes Martha and Jonathan Kent hostage, before dying at the hands of a meteor strike. Luckily for Ackles, he seems to have been doing pretty well for himself since then, with Supernatural now in its 15th season and of course his upcoming appearance in The Boys. Ackles is by no means the only celebrity that featured in Smallville that you probably didn't know about, or just completely forgot. In fact, there are enough stars to fill up a video of their own, with actors such as Evangeline Lilly, Kobe Smulders, and Lizzie Kaplan, just to name a few, all appearing at some point in the show. But another star that you may have forgotten made an appearance in Smallville was the late Glee star Corey Monteith. While the Canadian actor's big break was certainly the character of Finn Hudson in Glee, he appeared in a number of minor roles in TV shows including Stargate Atlantis and even Supernatural. Monteith played the part of an unnamed frat cowboy who, in the scene, ends up grinding up against the vampiric Lana before being told by Chloe to go off and play with his six-shooter in a not-so-subtle innuendo. Monteith did get some dialogue in the Blink and You'll Miss It scene, uttering the line, "Hey, wow, that is Shakespeare right there." Monteith did go on to be a huge star until his sad and untimely death in 2013. To be honest, you'll be forgiven for forgetting the existence of the movie The Incredible Hulk, never mind some of the actors that appeared in it, with the 2008 movie somewhat lost in the vast MCU library. The movie, which starred Ed Norton, took place in the fledgling days of the MCU and wasn't as popular as other early films such as Iron Man and Captain America the First Avenger, and therefore is easily forgotten. The movie, however, did feature quite a few cameos, including Martin Starr, who would later reappear in an MCU movie in Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home. But another major star who also appeared was Ty Burrell, better known for his Phil Dunphy role on the highly popular comedy show Modern Family. Burrell played the part of psychotherapist Doc Samson and was the initial love interest of Liv Tyler's Betty Ross. While Burrell may not have been as big a star as he is today, he would have been somewhat recognizable with roles in films such as Black Hawk Down. And his character was supposed to be a more prominent figure, but unfortunately fell victim to the cutting room floor. Although Burrell probably doesn't feel too bad about it now, seeing as how loved his character of Phil Dunphy has gone on to be. Meanwhile, the Incredible Hulk has somewhat fallen into relative obscurity. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a refreshing and dazzling take on the comic book genre and housed more Spider-Man than you can shake a stick at. And while you may know that Jake Johnson played Peter B. Parker, Nick Cage played Spider-Man Noir, and Chris Pine played the original Peter Parker, you may not know that another huge actor played the part of Spidey, Oscar Isaac. In a hilarious post-credit scene, we see Isaac's 2099 Spider-Man dive into the multiverse before engaging in a pointing war with Earth-67 Spider-Man in an homage to a much-memed scene. Isaac is no stranger to the superhero world, playing the titular villain Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse, and he's even been linked to the role of Hawkman in the upcoming Black Adam movie. The post-credit scene may be fleeting, but it fits as a perfect end to a fantastic movie, and we can only hope that we see him and more of his rude finger-pointing in the Spider-Verse sequel. Another actor who starred as a leading role in X-Men Apocalypse is Olivia Munn, who played the part of Psylocke. Munn may now be a household name, but before she made it big, she appeared in a number of minor roles, including Greta in the spy comedy series Chuck, as well as a recurring role in New Girl as Angie. But you may have forgotten that she made an albeit small appearance in the MCU. Munn plays the part of a reporter at the Stark Expo at the beginning of Iron Man 2, a cameo that feels very fitting, seeing as Munn used to be the co-host of Attack of the Show on G4. This clearly did not satisfy her taste to play a comic book character with her appearance in X-Men Apocalypse, and has continued to make a name for herself in the acting world. Like Smallville, Iron Man 2 has a number of cameos that you probably missed, such as House of Cards' Kate Mara, tech guru and philanthropist Elon Musk, which is unsurprising given his similarities to Tony Stark, and the late DJ Am. But another star you might have missed is The Leftovers and Mulholland Drive star Justin Theroux. Theroux briefly appears in the movie as an almost unrecognizable mustachioed cop who briefly talks to Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper Potts after the events of the Stark Expo go wrong. But Theroux's appearance in the movie wasn't just some random cameo. In fact, the actor was actually one of the co-writers of the movie. While Theroux has gone on to say that the movie was somewhat flawed, it's nice to see Theroux making a cameo in the movie in the same vein as Stan Lee and Alfred Hitchcock. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air has gone on to be one of the biggest classic sitcoms of all time, making a household name of its star Will Smith, as well as creating a plethora of other lovable characters. One such character is that of Uncle Phil, played by the late James Avery, who serves as a pseudo-father figure to Will, and while he came across as a strict head of the household, soon showed his much softer side. While you may love James Avery already, you may love him even more after learning, if you didn't know already, that he also provided his booming voice to the classic villain Shredder in the animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, which ran from 1987 to 1993 during Avery's time on Fresh Prince. So I guess this is a story all about how cool James Avery is and how he became the voice of a character called Shredder. It's hard to imagine actor Jack Gleason as anyone other than the deplorable Joffrey Baratheon on HBO's fantasy drama Game of Thrones, where he oozed villainy as he tortured enemies and whined like a spoiled brat every time he didn't get his way. Just like me when my mom refused to take me to Chuck E. Cheese for my birthday. You're never too old for Chuck E. Cheese, Mom! Gleason may have nailed the part of Joffrey so well that he even went on to take a break from acting. But it isn't his only appearance in a major piece of media. One of his first major appearances was his part as the appropriately titled Little Boy in the first entry of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, Batman Begins. While he actually appeared in two scenes, the first being where Batman is performing reconnaissance, and the second when Rachel Dawes is trying to escape the Narrows before Scarecrow releases his toxin, you would be easily forgiven for forgetting his appearance, seeing as he was smaller and slightly sweeter than his pompous and punchable Joffrey. Big comic book fans and fans of the animated show will surely know that Mark Hamill provided the maniacal voice of the clown prince of crime, the Joker, in Batman the Animated Series. But one big-name actor playing a villain may have gone under the radar, with Sons of Anarchy star Ron Perlman voicing the villain Clayface in several episodes of the show. That's right, Hellboy himself appeared in the show with his gravelly voice a perfect fit for the part of Clayface. Perlman was so good for the role that he would later reprise the role of Clayface in the new Batman Adventures. And do I even have to mention Slade Wilson from the Teen Titans? But Hellboy isn't the only anti-hero Perlman has played, with Perlman even switching from DC villain to DC hero, with him providing the voice of Batman in the Justice League Heroes game. What the hell, boy? To finish off this video, let's end it with an actor who has appeared in several of these entries, Seth Green. The Buffy the Vampire star and Robot Chicken actor and creator has appeared in several superhero movies and shows throughout his career. Like Perlman, Green has appeared in Batman the Animated Series, with Green portraying the character of Wizard in the show. But it doesn't stop there. Green also appeared in Iron Man 2, also at the Star Expo, as one of the fans in the elevator in a truly blink-and-you'll-miss-it scene. Green would go on to make an even bigger and more known cameo in the MCU, with him providing the voice for Howard the Duck, a member of the Collector's Exhibits in the post-credits scene of Guardians of the Galaxy. Green also appeared in a subtle cameo in DC's Shazam movie as one of the men outside the club that Billy tries to visit after turning into adult form. It's safe to say Green likes appearing in superhero content. So what was your most surprising cameo? How many of them did you remember? Were there any that we left out? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more super content.